Hi there, I have a Craftsman ZTS 7500 zero-turn lawnmower. It's about 8 years old, with about 900 hours on it. I've taken good care of it. It's been a good one. Lately it has begun bucking hard whenever I drive at a low speed. It bucks so hard the front wheels leave the ground and go up 3 to 4 inches. It doesn't buck if I go full speed.
I am reading it.
It bucks whether I'm going straight or turning. My son is a mechanic and has taken a look at it. He thinks we may need to do major transmission replacement, but that will be expensive and I don't want to order parts if that's not it. Can you please help me diagnose what's wrong?
Hello. Thank you for choosing JustAnswer. My name is will be happy to assist you. John, can you get the model numbers from under your mower seat for me? With these numbers, I can pull up a diagram that will show me which transmissions you have.
The model number is ###. I've got to leave for a couple of hours. It's dinner time in Montana. Can we resume later tonight or tomorrow?
Yes, later tonight will be just fine. Enjoy your dinner.
Hi Donald. I'm back in case you have a response. Otherwise I can check in the AM. John.
John, I'm here. Have you checked the condition of the belt that drives your hydro system? Can you double check your model numbers? Could one of the numbers 8 be a number 6?
Hi Donald. I checked and it's definitely ###. There are other numbers on the tag. The number 100,362 appears above one barcode. The number 96639-00016 is under another barcode. It also contains the number ###. My operator's manual lists the model number as 107.27788, which is different than what appears on the machine. It's the one with the Kohler engine. I hope this helps. John.
I believe I have the correct diagram. You have hydro gear transaxles. Is the bucking happening on both sides?
Both sides, pretty much equally. I forgot to mention. When my son was checking things out, he took off one of the long tractor suspension arms, a little shock absorber looking thing that is part of the transmission system. He thought that it wasn't operating properly, although we couldn't be sure. He only took one off. If both are not working well, could that cause the bucking? I'm sure they would be cheaper and easier to replace than the whole transmission system. John. Hi Donald, we're leaving for around 3 to 4 hours. It's 10:45 a.m. our time. Hi Donald, I'm home now. John.
John, I am back with you. Thanks for the follow-up information. The part that you are referring to, as a shock absorber, has to be in good working order. If this part is faulty, this can cause your mower to buck as you are attempting to drive your mower. I would replace the one on both sides. This should resolve our problem. Please take a look at the image in the link below. It shows the parts you are in need of. They are your suspension arms,
Hi Donald, is that the most likely part that I need to replace? Is there any other reason for the bucking? Thanks, John.
There is another possibility, but that possibility is inside your transaxle, and is a major repair. A broken spring in one of your pump motor blocks will cause this problem. I would focus on the suspension arms for now. I would also check your transaxle drive belt to make sure it is not worn or partially loose. If you put your transaxles in bypass/roll position, will your mower roll if you try pushing it? This will confirm whether or not your brakes are sticking.
Hi Donald, I put the transaxles in the roll mode and it rolled as easily as ever. The transaxle drive belt looks to be in good shape, well tensioned, and without any grease or oil on it. Sounds like I need to order 2 suspension arms. Hopefully that will fix it.
Thanks for your response. I do believe that this will resolve our problem. I will be available to follow up with you. There are no additional fees for following up on this question.
Okay, Donald. Thanks. Pay now. If these parts don't fix it, I'll need to pick your brain some more. It will take a week or so to get the parts and get them installed. Should I just contact you the same way if I have more questions? John.
If you pay now, you can still follow up for as long as you like. There is a link to this discussion page in your email. After you return, I will get an alert to notify me that you have posted a reply. There is not a time limit on your question.
Hi Donald, I keep trying to email you but the system apparently doesn't want me to. Thanks for your help. How do I pay the rest?
Hello John. I am here with you. Do you have a follow-up questions?
Hi Donald. I don't have any questions now. I ordered the parts and will install them as soon as they arrive. I'll email you then if there is any follow-up. I appreciate your help. Now how do I pay? John.
You are very welcome. After you rated my answer, your payment was automatically submitted. Thanks.
Hi Donald, bad news. We replaced the suspension arms, but it made only a very slight improvement. It still bucks like crazy. We're not sorry that we replaced the suspension arms, it was probably time, and they weren't working well. But we now have to look for the next possible fix. You mentioned that the next fix might involve a broken spring in the pump motor blocks. Is that what we should pursue? We're pretty good at taking things apart and putting them back together. Can you give us any info about how to get to the spring? It looks like we have to drop the transmission to work on it. We look forward to hearing from you. John.
Hello John. Are you 100% sure that your drive belt is okay? I can get you a link to a free service manual, but I will need the hydro gear numbers that are on the white tag on your transaxle. The service manual is very helpful, and is fairly easy to follow. It will show your pump motor blocks, and the springs I am referring to. We can continue from here.
Hi Donald, I spoke with my son who has done the work on the mower. He said that the drive belt is working and turning everything that it needs to turn. It has a lot of power and nothing seems to be failing to be energized. I will get the info off of the transmission and get it to you so you can send me the manual. My son has downloaded a manual that may be the same, but it doesn't call anything a pump motor block, so we're not sure if it is the same. He asked whether the possible broken spring that you refer is internal or external. He can see all external springs and they are in good shape and working well, John.
I am back with you. I would like for you to try something else, before considering making internal repairs to your transaxles. I would like for you to purge your transaxles, in case you have trapped air inside. Trapped air can affect the performance of your transaxles. Click on the link below. I am posting a picture of a pump motor block below. I would like to make sure we have covered everything external, before checking for a broken spring. We can continue from here. Thanks again.
Thanks, Donald. We'll do that. I wanted to mention that although we first thought that both transaxles were behaving badly, my son thinks it is primarily one now. He wondered if we should check the fluid in both, to see if one is good and the other bad. Should we wait to do that at this point? I don't know if we have to drop the transaxles in order to check the fluid. John.
Yes, I would check your fluid level prior to purging your transaxle. Thanks for confirming that you feel that only one of your transaxles are at fault. It is rare for both to fail at same time. Look for obvious signs of oil leaks on your transaxles.
Hi Donald, we will try to check the fluid and check for air in the transaxle this weekend. It looks like the whole unit has to be taken out in order to get to the plug where we can check the oil. If that's the case, the procedure for purging air would have you taking the transaxle out and putting it back in 2 or 3 times in order to go through the entire procedure. That sounds kind of crazy, so I'm hoping you know another way. John.
Unless you see a leak, I would try purging first, before checking your fluid level. Hello John. I am back with you.
Hello Donald, did you receive my rambling message about springs and taking the transmission apart? I can resend it. Thanks for getting back with me. John.
John, I am away from my computer. I will return at 4:30 p.m. Central Time today. I am happy to continue working with you. I did not receive your message about the springs and you taking your transaxle apart.
Hi Donald, I resent the email that you didn't get. The website was acting a little strangely, so I wanted to check to make sure you got it. John.
I still haven't received it. Can you copy and paste the contents of your email to this page?
Hi Donald, I hope this gets through to you. I was having problems with my Craftsman ZTS 7500 zero-turn lawnmower. My son is getting a degree in advanced manufacturing and is taking a hydraulics class. His instructor has worked with hydraulics all of his life, and there are only 3 students in the class. So they decided to make my lawnmower transmission their class project. They took apart both motor blocks and both pump blocks. You were concerned that there might be a broken spring in the pump block. It turns out that there were no broken springs in either of the motor blocks or the pump blocks. And there was nothing else that appeared to be wrong at first. So they checked the force constant of all of the springs in the 2 motor blocks and the 2 pump blocks. The pump block had 2 springs that didn't match the force constant of the other springs. The springs in the motor block showed some variation, but not nearly as much as the pump block. If 2 springs in the pump block were substantially less strong than the other springs, would that likely cause the machine to lurch and buck? They can't find anything else that isn't in order. We don't know what the specs are for the springs in the motor block or the pump block. Can you provide that? Then we would know how far off they really are. We checked with the original manufacturer and it would cost about $120 a piece to replace both motor blocks, add both pump blocks, for a total of $480. The original manufacturer can't provide just the springs. We suspect that the problem is the springs. With it all taken apart, it seems to make sense to replace all of the springs. Do you know if we can obtain from Sears new springs to replace all of the springs involved? Springs are usually cheap, but replacements for the motor blocks and pump motor blocks are not. We checked the other things that you mentioned, air in the pump oil and low oil, and everything appeared to be fine. And we replaced the big belt that runs everything, without any result. Can you please give us your thoughts and particularly help us obtain replacement springs? Thanks very much. John Phelps.
Thanks. I got it this time. I am reading it. John, the springs for your blocks are not sold separate from your blocks. These parts are sold as an assembly. Can you get the model numbers from the tag on your transaxle? I will pull up the service manual for your transaxle. Check the flat surfaces on both blocks. Run your fingernail across the surfaces. Your fingernail should not catch in any scratches that may be present. We can continue from here.
Hi Donald, sorry for the delay. The transaxles are at the community college classroom and my son had no access over the holiday. These are the numbers that are on the transaxles: ZCAHBB2A7B1DPX, ZCDHBB2A7C1DPX. They also have the numbers 70,083 and 70,273. We had asked if you could find out how the spring are supposed to be tensioned so we could determine if they're not correct, and so that might be the problem. 2 of the springs in the pump box are less tensioned than the others. In the meantime, Sears just charged our credit card another $27. We didn't authorize it. Do you know what happened? Thanks for your help. John.
Hello, John. How are you today? I am attaching a link to a free hydro gear service manual for you. The manual will be very helpful to you. Manual, click here. Hydro gear does not give any specifications on the springs. I do know that all of the springs should have equal amounts of tension. The springs are not sold individually. New springs only comes with the purchase of a new motor block assembly.
Also, my son ran his fingernails all over the flat spaces on the blocks and he didn't find any roughness. John.
That indicates that the surfaces are okay. Did you notice any sediments in the fluid that remained inside your transaxle after you disassembled it?
My son said that there was a very small amount of fine metal shavings in the fluid of one of the pumps. He thought it looked like what you might expect to find. He didn't think it indicated anything, but we would appreciate hearing what you think. He couldn't find any part of the pump block that appeared damaged or worn. I think the current plan is to purchase one pump block from Sears or the manufacturer, and then open it to compare it to the ones we have. We'll mostly compare the springs so we can tell what the correct force constant is. That will tell us whether any of our existing springs are correct or not. You didn't respond to my question about the second $27 that was charged to my credit card. You have certainly earned it if you initiated the charge, but we don't want any charges without our authorization. It concerns us that anyone could simply charge additional money to our card. John.
Hello, John. How are you today? I did not initiate the $27 charge to your credit card. You only pay one time to ask a question, and you can ask unlimited follow-up questions to your original question without being charged any additional fees. Our customer service department will be happy to take care of this for you. Please use the customer service link on our discussion page to contact them. Your satisfaction is very important to me. My goal is to work with you until our mechanical problem is resolved. I suggest that you compare the prices on eBay with the price of a pump block from retailers. You may save yourself some money. There should not be any metal shavings at all in the body of your transaxle. Keep in mind that your transaxle have two piston block assemblies inside. One is called a pump block assembly, and the other one is called a motor block assembly. Can you take some pictures of the surfaces on yours? If you can get the model numbers from your transaxles, I can get a free service manual for you, if you do not already have one. I remember you mentioning the pump and motor blocks. Disregard the description above. I look forward to your response. Thanks. I just went back and read our entire discussion. I am back on track now.
Thanks, Donald. I've enjoyed working with you. One day we'll get this figured out. Fortunately, we have snow on the ground and 5 degrees outside. We won't be needing our mower for a while. John.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.